Hey there, welcome to my channel where females learn about their bodies and optimize their health. Today we are going to be exploring the ovaries. You're going to be learning what they are and why they are so important in every woman's body. Also, when you hear PCOS, guess where is affected? Also the ovaries. So that's why it's so important for you to understand everything I say in this video so you can become the master or a master of the ovaries. So the ovaries are two tiny things in a woman's body that stores all her eggs, and I see them as refrigerators or fridges because they keep the eggs safe and viable until they are being released. Even if you don't get anything from this video, if someone wakes you up in the middle of the night and touches you, oh yeah, what are ovaries used for? Just start shouting eggs, eggs, eggs. And the eggs I'm talking about are actually not the type you fry or boil. They're just the part of the woman that forms a baby. So when someone tells you you came from your mom and your dad, you actually came from an egg inside your mom's ovaries that came out and met a sperm from your dad, and that formed you. So apart from the eggs that the ovaries store, another thing they do is that they secrete hormones, and hormones is just a fancy name for chemicals. They release some chemicals in a woman's body that transforms a tiny girl into a grown-ass woman. So when you see those wide hips, when you see those plump breasts, when you see that tiny waist, when you just see that sexy silhouette, that will let you know that this one is no more a girl, this one is becoming a woman. It's actually the ovaries secreting the hormones that makes that possible. And that's why before puberty, if you put a boy and a girl together and you tell them take off their shirts, you would not see any difference. And that's because before puberty, the ovaries are on sabbatical and they're dormant. But at puberty, they come alive, and the next thing you know, they're secreting these chemicals that is just giving the girl this feminine and this womanly features. So yeah, minus the fact that the ovaries store eggs and they also secrete the chemicals that make a girl or transforms a girl into a woman, they are also the female balls. And the reason why I call them the female balls is because they are the same as the testes in men. So the way you have testes in men that produces sperm, you have ovaries in women that stores eggs. And I want you to understand why this is so important. Every single egg in a woman's body is already formed at birth. From when you're coming out of your mother's womb, all the eggs you're ever going to have is already stored in your ovaries. But this is not the same as men. In men, they produce sperm cells every 60 to 64 days. I just want you to understand that the female balls are the ovaries. So if someone wakes you up and say grow some balls, just tell them you already have two and they're called the ovaries. So a quick one for our hierarchy. We started from the outside, we started from the vulva, we came in, we spoke about the war and the existential fights going on in the vagina. Then we've spoken about the womb where the baby will live for 9 months, the lower end being the cervix, and then the fallopian tubes, and we also spoke about ectopic pregnancy, and then the ovaries on both sides. And I'm so excited. So now we can start gisting about other interesting topics. So beneath the surface, this is a coned down image, and this is the ovary, this is the fallopian tubes. And like I said, every egg in the woman's body is in the ovary is stored. But I want you to understand that women do not make new eggs. If you don't get anything from this video, the first one I said you should get is that ovaries store eggs, but they do not make new eggs. This is unlike in men. Men make new sperm cells in their testes every 60 to 64 days. And that is why they can always be fertile till the day they die. If you understand that we do not make new eggs, you understand that at puberty we start releasing eggs every month. We're releasing eggs. And at some point the eggs in the store are going to finish, obviously, because they're not being replenished and they're not being renewed. And when the eggs in the ovaries finish, that's actually what we refer to as menopause. And that's why when women start approaching 45 to 55, their chances of getting pregnant is very low because the eggs in their ovaries have finished. So that's just what I wanted you to get from here. So when we gist about PCOS in another video, just understand that it's the ovaries that are majorly affected. Also, when we gist about the menstrual cycle and every single event in the menstrual cycle, it's also these ovaries here that play a major role and release most of the chemicals that control that whole process. So if you've understood where the ovaries are today, which are these two things here, if you understand what they do as regards storing eggs and also releasing chemicals, like your home and dry for this video. But before we go on to just about other interesting things, we're going to be talking about feminine hygiene, and that's what our next video is going to be about. I'm going to be giving you the tips, the things to do, the things not to do, and we're going to be talking about so many behaviors in this Nigeria that are supposed to be normal but are not normal and are increasing your chances of infection. So even if you do not look out for anything, look out for my feminine hygiene series. So make sure you share and like and share with your friends so they can also know they have a set of balls on them, and their set of balls are their ovaries. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss anything. And if you can get my subscribers up to 100, I'm going to put up a bonus episode on Monday, and I'm so excited for all the topics that are to come. Actually, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll be sure to put up a video regarding that. And yeah, like I said, our next video we're going to be looking at feminine hygiene tips, so look out for that. See you on my next video. Bye.